Justin, you want to watch a movie?
Yeah, sure. What you got?
What do you think about,
No, I saw it last week.
Oh, what about,
Not again.
oh. How about this?
Wait. You want me to watch what?
So what did you think of the Intouchables?
It's very endearing.
Isn't it just?
Yeah.
So, for those of you who are joining in, listening, welcome, willkommen, bienvenue, welcome. Maybe someday we'll watch Cabaret together.
Maybe.
This is, you want me to watch what? The game of podcasts. The game. That's right. I said it. I stand by it. The game of podcasts, where you don't know what we're going to talk about.
Except if you read the title.
That's the week 3 podcast.
That's the week 3 podcast, yeah.
Man. See, I'm all shook up because you're back.
I am. It's
I'm
the first
so
one of
happy
these.
to see you back.
Yeah, it's the first one of these you and I have done in quite a while.
A fair bit. So,
but shout out to TGC Liz. She has done a fantastic job in my stead.
I agree.
And you two have really good chemistry together. It's almost as if you're married.
Yeah, I'm thinking about asking her if she wants to go steady sometime.
Well, I hope she says yes.
Me too. So, for your first one back, I had you read a movie.
Pretty much, yeah.
Because as far as I know, you don't speak or read French. So,
here is the amount of French that I actually know.
Okay, I'm listening.
Parlez-vous anglais? Oui.
Right.
Non.
Right.
And omelette du fromage.
I know those, and the one my mother taught me, which is, and I'll butcher the pronunciation, but that's all right. French is meant to be butchered in such a way, is je ne comprends pas, which is I don't understand.
I guess technically I know Frère Jacques and Eiffel Tower.
Oh, and je t'aime, which means I love you.
Oh, so. Baguette.
Ah, yes. And I know to just order toast.
Yeah. Anyway.
Well, anyway, for this one, we watched the French film The Intouchables. Intouchables. It is a buddy comedy from 2011. And it is just the story of a friendship based on a true relationship.
Mm-hmm.
So we open up in Paris, and there is a beautiful Maserati Quattroporte just racing through the streets. And inside we see Driss, one of our main characters, and next to him is Philippe, our other main character, and they are being chased by cops. It is a big, exciting opening that really makes you think that this is not the movie you're going to get.
Mm-hmm. And
they get pulled over, and Driss says, well, my passenger is a quadriplegic, and he's sick. He needs to get to the hospital right away, to which Philippe pretends to have a seizure, and the police give them an escort to the hospital, where they get to the hospital, cops run in to go get, and Driss just drives away. Flashback time.
Yes.
The whole movie is a flashback. And in this case, Philippe, who is a quadriplegic, is massively wealthy, the owner of a luxurious hotel. He's effectively looking for a live-in caregiver. And when Driss shows up, he has zero desire for the job. None whatsoever. He wants instead to get his paper signed to prove that he was rejected so that he can continue receiving his benefits.
Mm-hmm.
And he's told, come back the next morning to get your signed document. Which he does. We get a bit of background into Driss had been in prison for some kind of theft. It seems does not have a great family, situation, doesn't even really have a place to live. Goes back the next day where he is told, by the way, you've got the job. On a trial basis, but you've got the job.
Yeah.
I don't want the job. I'm not interested in the job. I'm inexperienced at the job. Well, you got the job anyway, until such time as you don't. By the way, here's your bedroom. Here's your gigantic bathtub and bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, all right. So he learns how to care for his employer's disability, aiding in everything and complaining about every single bit of it.
Yep.
For quite a while. And it comes to, though, that he starts caring about Philippe, mostly because he feels needed. He's able to move around. They have this relationship that seems built very much upon the I don't care who you were. I care about who you are now.
Mm-hmm.
And so we get the backstory that, Driss was in prison for robbery. Philippe says, I don't really care because he's the only guy who doesn't treat me with pity. And as long as he does the job, I don't care. We find out that Philippe's injury came from a paragliding incident. His wife had died, before they were unable to have children. And over the movie, Driss just kind of helps Philippe organize his life. Has some insight into how to deal with the adopted daughter.
Mm-hmm.
Has a punch up with the guy who keeps blocking the driveway. I really liked that part.
Oh, that was good. Yeah.
He goes out, basically pulls the guy out of the car. It shows him the no parking here, dude.
Shoves him face first into the no parking here sign. Can you read this?
Uh-huh. And then, and in return, kind of on this, is Driss is introduced to a lot of modern art and opera and painting and so on and so forth, which is also funny when there's a point where there's this big, there's this classical music concert and Philippe is trying to explain this stuff to Driss because Philippe is a cultured man. He understands. And Driss is like, yeah, I know this song. It's in the advertisements. Or it's on a cartoon.
It's in Tom and Jerry.
Yeah. And so the other pieces that are kind of in because this is one of those movies where I really appreciate that there's not a falling out in the traditional sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we don't suddenly find out that Driss is, stealing a whole bunch of stuff. He steals something from at the very beginning.
And then he's called out on it.
And he's called out on it. But the falling out isn't a falling out at all. It's a sense that Driss has a cousin who's in trouble with a gang. And he, overhearing all this, Philippe basically fires Driss and says, you need to take care of your family. You can't be just pushing a wheelchair all your life. So Driss goes home. He doesn't seem to want to, but he goes home. He, helps his cousin with the trouble with the gang. He, starts a new job. In the meantime, there are new carers that Philippe has hired, and he doesn't like any of them because they all treat him like an invalid. And so his morale is low. He stops taking care of himself. He stops letting others take care of him. He grows this beard. And the assistant calls Driss back, is like, hey, things aren't good. Come help. So Driss shows up. This is where we come back to the present day, the beginning, driving in the Maserati. And after that, Driss takes Philippe to the seaside, and he shaves him, he dresses him, gets him back to being presentable, and just kind of talks to him a little bit at a restaurant before standing him up and saying, "Well, good luck on your lunch date." One of the plot points earlier on has been that Philippe has had a purely letter-writing based relationship with this woman, Eleanor. And they had made an arrangement to meet earlier, and Philippe chickened out. This time, though, Driss just leaves him there. He can't chicken out because he can't move his own chair.
Mm-hmm.
And a few seconds after Driss leaves, Eleanor shows up, and they have their date. And Driss kind of gives the little sign that, "See you later, buddy," and walks away. The real life, friendship, they continued on, but the movie ends with it seeming like Driss is like, "All right, you got this from now on. You don't need me."
Yeah.
And when I saw this, I really thought this is just such a wonderfully earnest movie.
Mm-hmm.
Without the unnecessary drama that gets put into so many things.
Oh yeah.
So tell me what your thoughts were. What was your impression?
Well, because I had to read the film, there were a few little plot points that I missed when they happened because, I look away for a second and I don't realize something's happened because it's just dialogue, but then I pick it up later. It's like I didn't quite figure out that the daughter was adopted until later. And I didn't figure. I missed the part where he mentioned the paragliding accident, but I put it together later when they went paragliding.
Right.
I'm like, oh, okay, and just little things like that. So that was really the drawback to the movie was, and I say this having watched many foreign films. That is the only drawback is you have to pay attention to not only the subtitles, but the subtext of what's going on. The way it's being said, the inflection and all that stuff. And watching a foreign film is not for everybody.
No, it's not for everybody. It requires more of you.
Yes. That's why my go-to foreign films are the overdubbed Godzilla movies because they're silly anyway, but then the dialogue that's overdubbed is just as silly. But that's an aside. As I was watching this, it looked really familiar. And I figured out why. It's because there was a remake, an American remake starring Bryan Cranston and Kevin Hart.
Yep.
That I had seen snippets of. And so I'm like, wait a minute. I've seen remake. Okay. So I'd not seen either movie. Mm-hmm. But I'm like, this looks familiar.
It was seeing clips of the Bryan Cranston one that I was like, okay, this looks interesting.
Yeah. And
I looked it up as like, oh, this is a remake of this other French film. I'm like, well, I want to see the original.
Well, yeah.
I'm a fan of that kind of thing. Sometimes remakes are better, but at the same time, it's like I'm going to have preconceived notions going into a Bryan Cranston, Kevin Hart film.
Yes, but like I said, aside from the weird deja vu moment of I've seen this, but I haven't, and having to pay attention to the subtitles, it was a very well done film. I enjoyed it thoroughly, and I really enjoyed not just Driss's character development and arc, but the household that Philippe lives in with his other caregivers and nurses and staff and stuff like that. When Driss shows up into their lives, they are very straightforward, no nonsense, whatever. By the time he leaves, everybody seems happier because he's brought new life and energy into this place because they are from polar opposite worlds. Mm-hmm. And it was a give and take. Philippe taught Driss about art and music and quote-unquote culture. And Driss taught Philippe how to lighten the hell up.
One of my favorite little subplots is shortly after Driss kind of learns about the modern art world, is like, well, I can do that, and starts painting stuff for himself.
Yeah.
And Philippe basically goes out of his way to sell it as this up-and-coming artist. And sell it for, what was it?
11,000 pounds.
Yeah. Like a lot of money.
Yeah. If one of my drawings sold for $11,000, I would be stoked.
Yeah.
I'm like, that is a crap ton of Cheetos for me to munch on.
That is a lot of salty snacks.
Pro tip, don't buy $11,000 worth of salty snacks. It is not good for your cholesterol. Your kidneys will thank you.
It's really, if it comes in a bag, probably.
Oh, no. I buy the upscale Cheetos. They come in a box.
Oh, my.
Well, okay.
Well,
there's a bag. It's like a cereal. It's a bag inside of a box.
That's only something that $11,000 worth of art money will get you.
Yeah.
So, I don't have tons to say. Like I said, the things that really caught me, the relationship is really well done. Especially the I don't want to do this part of Driss's early employment. Because he would, especially in that first kind of series of things, it seems he would be perfectly happy being fired and still collecting his benefit.
Yeah.
You know, his unemployment benefit. And then as he gets going, you know, and kind of is like, okay, this is just the job. It's stuff that has to be done.
Yeah.
Kind of stuff.
This is not a great example, but it's almost Three Men and a Baby-esque, where for that first chunk, they don't know how to baby. And then by the end, they're freaking experts at it.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the thing. He was a novice. He had no idea what he was doing, but by the end, man, he was on it.
Well, and he knew what needed to be done and how.
And, yeah.
And seemed, because he didn't have preconceived notions of what to do, dealt with things the way he would any other person. When there was a panic attack in the middle of the night, he didn't just give the guy a nebulizer. He didn't give him a sedative. He got him up, got him half dressed, and took him for a walk.
Yeah, and they sort of addressed that in the film, but that, I think, was the real turning point for Philippe, where he's like, okay, this guy's cool. He is going to, and they even say as much, like, hey, you know, the trial period's over. This is your job. Blah blah blah.
This is your job as long as you want it, or until something else happens. So the relationship is built realistically. Driss is, I love his characterization, the way he flirts badly with one of the, and he gets taken in because she plays along on it right up until he takes it seriously. It's like, no.
Yeah.
Of course not.
That I admit, when he first started doing that in the job interview, what was her name? Marguerite, I believe. Yeah, something like that.
Magali.
Yeah. I'm like, all right, you're a bit of a slime ball, because he's just. I'm like, okay, maybe that's his character, but then he keeps doing it. But then he's like, hey, come here a second. I want to show you something. This is my bathtub. Yeah, we can take a bath. Let's take a bath. She's like, okay, and starts to unbutton her blouse. And he strips down to his underwear really quick, and she just walks away laughing. And the reveal at the end, when he's been quote unquote dismissed and he's packing up to leave, and she's like, yeah, by the way, I'm a lesbian. And he's just, well, I would kiss you goodbye, but that seems a moot point now. And not to spoil the film, but I mean, that's kind of what we do. She gets one more dig in at him because her partner is there. And she leans in and says, I'm not opposed to a threesome. And he's like, what? I mean, not now, but what? And she's like, no, I'm kidding.
I'm kidding. It's a joke. So, but for what this film does and is, telling a good story with slow character development and relationship development without needing to add extra drama, because all the drama is built around the expectations the audience is going to have for what a billionaire versus a convict are going to act like. And to see them acting like people, rather than stereotypes, makes this movie for me. I'm not going to say that it's going to make my, once a year thing, but I'm probably not going to turn it off if I happen to come across it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, definitely one you have to pay attention to the first time you watch, unless you speak French, in which case maybe you don't.
Yeah.
But even then, you miss some of the relationship pieces.
Yeah.
If you're not careful. So, it's a see it from me.
It's absolutely a see it from me as well.
So that's that. Welcome back. Glad to have you back on this podcast as well. And I think that means it's your turn.
I think I got something.
All right.